For Malava people, what is your vision? What is this one thing that you want to do for these Malava people?
Oh, I have great things that I would wish to do, but I can't do it because the mind belongs to them. So they is to allow the people of Malava to decide how their national government constituency development fund will be used through public participation. So that when we do those projects, nobody raises a question on me that why did you do this? We do public participation. We draw a strategic plan for the 5 years or for the 2 years if I'm elected, and which I believe I'm going to be elected for 2 years. We agree this is what we are going to do. But to begin from, I will be advising them that we must complete the project started by the late Honorable Moses Malulu Injendi, because that is public funds. I have seen some politicians, some constituencies where when they come in office, they abandon the project started by their predecessors. We cannot do that. We will finish all those projects started by Honorable Moses Malulu Injendi as we do public participation to get the priorities of the people. And then we will go ahead. Like if I'm elected, the first stop after swearing in, I'll go to Kiharu to sit down with Ndindi Nyoro. I want to know what Ndindi Nyoro does, because in Kiharu, parents only pay 1,000 shillings for day schools. That is something that I wish to introduce in Malava immediately I'm elected. All schools in Malava pay 1,000 or free. But I will learn from somebody who has done it. I want to invent any wheel. Ndindi Nyoro has already invented that wheel. Me is to go to Kiharu, sit down with Ndindi Nyoro, my brother, tell me how you managed it. Malava people are suffering. I want to assist them. And that will be the first thing I will do if elected. That may not require participation because they don't know what Ndindi Nyoro is doing. There are certain decisions that you make up there on the virtue that you are a member of parliament. So I will rush to Ndindi Nyoro and ask him to give me tips on how he did it and make secondary school education day school free. Parents only to pay 1,000 like Kiharu.
I know you understand the challenges that are in Malava. Some challenges cut across.
All right.
Specific for Malava.
I will be able to say them, but I will say that people will prioritize. Okay. It's not me to prioritize them. One is we have certain roads that are national that have not been completed for many years. Malava Road to Samivi, all the way to Navaholo, to Shanda, where is here in Mumias East. That road I'll ensure that it's completed, because I saw like the money had been allocated. That road should be completed. Malava Sub-County Hospital, which was a level 4, has been downgraded to level 3. It follows that the KMT that was to be constructed cannot continue because there's no training facility. I'll ensure that Malava level 3 hospital now is upgraded to level 4 and 5. I'll ask assistance from the county government, from the national government, and from donors and partners. I have the privilege. I move around this club, but the problem is you don't have the foundation, you don't have the power to go in somebody's office and ask for assistance. If I become a member of parliament, I can speak on behalf of my constituents. But the way I am, I cannot. But I know very many places I can go and I can get grants to come and develop Malava level 3 hospital to even level 5, and then ensure that the MTC comes up and is functioning. When MTC functions, our children will go there for training, and as a result of that, the surroundings will improve. A community will build hostels, students will stay there, some people will work there, creating kind of the employment, and you know the ripple effect of that college will be immense. We also have the issue of Malava people that had been promised to have a university for many years. We'll make sure we have a campus of Muliro there, and many other things that ought to be done that will come from the people. The farming, sugarcane farming today, it has a tax that for you to get your money you must have e-citizen. I'll go to parliament and say remove this thing, and fight for it to ensure it's removed. Why do tax our farmers? So those are the, of course, with proper legislation. I'll defend my people through legislation. Yeah.
People are making crossroads right now in Malava, and they're telling them we need to be in government so that we can get development. You know, and the party that you are coming in, I believe it is DAP, because you're talking about Aluya-led. So DAP.
No, we have many Luya parties. We have UTB of Chirongo. We have Lepa Party of Julio Jambo. We have Fort Kenya of
we have DAP.
Though I have ruled out Fort Kenya. We have DAP. Of my Waziri Eugene, yes. And we have this one for Hamiswa. Yeah, a very good friend of mine. Yeah. Very respectful man. Very respectful man. That's very important in society.
Yes.
Yeah. We have this one for the late Hamiswa Mukanda. We have MDG for Ocheng. Ocheng is not a Luo. Ocheng is a Luya. So all these parties are there for me.
I know it's DAP, but
fine, if it's DAP, so be it.
Yeah, so the people making crossroads in Malava, they're saying you need to be in government for you to get development. So do you think they'll actually settle for you? And the fact that you have been there, you have said that you feel betrayed by the government of the day, that is Ruto's, UDA. You told them that please let me, and now you're coming to them now. Don't you think that they will feel like you're not, consistent?
One, I want to ask you a question. We have been in government. The late was in government. What did he do in Malava? Zero. If you look at what other things we are the only constituency without an MTC. We are the only constituency in Kakamega County that our hospital level 4 has been downgraded to level 3. And it's the biggest, actually, supposed to be biggest in Kenya. Look at Butere. They have a level 4 being constructed. Look at Mumias. It was constructed, completed, it's functioning. Malava, instead of upgrading, is being downgraded. So you can't say you are the government to perform. Look at Nabi Nabwera. He's in ODM. Look at the development he's doing in Lugari. You don't have to be in government for you to do development. Look at even Ikoloman. My brother is doing a lot of development there. You don't have to be in government. National Government Constituent Development Fund goes to all constituencies. These other things depends on how you interact with people who are in charge of those particular departments, and of course other partners. You cannot say that you have to be in government for you to develop, because if that's true, then for 13 years we have not seen that development. We have been in government for 13 years. What has come to Malava because of the 13 years? Even the last elections, we are the only constituency in Malava that gave the president many votes, about 28,000 votes. No other constituency went above 3,000. And yet we have nothing to show. Nothing. So development, we have structures. If you talk of the money to the county, we have the county government. Money is allocated through the budget making, the division of revenue. When you talk of the constituency, we have the National Government Constituent Development Fund. If we still have president making pronouncement on the roadside, then we have not appreciated the import of the new constitution. The president has no money. He has no development money in State House. Development is appropriated by Parliament and the Treasury. So, and it is not appropriated based on how you voted. It's supposed to be appropriated based on the need of the country and the need of the nation. Once you are elected, you become a president of Kenya. You don't become a president of your party. You have no president called the president of the Republic of UDA. It's nothing like that. He is the president of the Republic of Kenya, a symbol of national unity. That's why we should not have skill development. And I still believe that if the organs that were put in the constitution, CDF is not in the constitution, but they're trying to put it there, it can't be removed. If you ask me, I say, give CDF 1 billion shillings every constituency and leave education for us and leave health for us. No one will complain. Why give? Counties have failed with health. They have failed completely. So why can't we remove health from the counties and put it to CDF? Because you remember, before, CDF used to handle everything. Education, health, security, everything. Now after devolution, they removed and it was left with education alone. Look at how health is looking like. You can't get money from CDF to buy medicine for your hospital. This crop of leaders, the governors that were elected this time round, have let down Kenya. Because like Kakamega, look at it. Oparanya left Buhungu Stadium when it was being constructed. It has stalled. Oparanya left this hospital, the level 7, when it had started. It has stalled. In Malava constituency where I come from, he left a road from Pudali to Maleha when it has started being constructed. It has stalled. He left a dairy processing farm in Malava that he had started construction. It has stalled. All the project literally that the former governors left, and it's not only here, have kind of stalled. And therefore, these are the questions that can be placed answered by the governor himself. I can't say whether he's deliberately not doing it or he's doing it, because it's him who is the chief executive of the county. And maybe I'll recommend that you have a talk with him and ask him about this project that have stalled. And perhaps maybe we look at the security development. When you go to like Mumias, you find roads have been carpeted, where these people are coming from, something is happening. But other areas, everything has stalled. This question can be answered best by the governor himself. Yeah.
Maybe last question as we sum up. I would really want to know what is your take on Matiang'i and other presidential candidates that probably have, declared that they'll be running 2027?
Being in the opposition, and you remember when I was with Ruto, I defended him with the hilt. I may intend to do that because when you are with affirmation, there are questions I'll ask Matiang'i in private, but I will not ask him in public because now we appear to be the same side. But I have serious questions about River Yala, Botis, that he must answer. Yes, if elections were held today, I'll vote for Matiang'i. If the two candidates are on the ballot, if there's Ruto and there's Matiang'i, I'll vote for Matiang'i. But he must be accountable for what happened during his time as the CS. And if I were him, I'll have addressed that issue as the first thing when I was declaring my interest in the presidency. Because I believe those things might have happened even without his knowledge. But what's so difficult, just come out and tell Kenyans, I was not aware. We know how government operates. You can be a minister, and whatever is happening in the ministry, you don't know. That's obvious, it happens. Matiang'i would have been very forceful, as people could see. But you see, when it comes to action, there is the Inspector General of Police. Matiang'i, if you're a CS for internal, they call it interior. You don't command these people. They have their own chain of command, and the commander is the president. A CS is not a commander. The commander-in-chief is the president. Then from the president, you have other commanders. So the buck stops with the president. If I were Matiang'i, I would have come out and explained that I don't know what was happening because I was just a CS. I deal with policy. I don't implement policy. And I have not formulated any policy to say go and kill people and put in River Yala. It was so difficult for me to explain that. So for me, from where I sit, as long as I'm working with him, that will be my line of argument. CS deals with policy. Does not give directives, does not command. Your work is to deal with policy, period.
As you finalize, why do you think President Ruto elbowed out almost everybody who was close to him, the allies, you, yourself, we had Malala, Gashagwa, it's like everybody's just being, kicked out. What do you think is happening in UDA?
I think we were overambitious, and we didn't know who William Ruto was. And that's what everybody's saying. I still don't know who he is. I used to sit with him like the way you're sitting here, and we could discuss. But immediately he became the president, the only phone call he made to me was, leave my party. People are asking me to ask you to leave.
He told you, leave my party?
Of course, yes. I was at the airport. I remember vividly. It was around 7:15. I was taking a flight soon, then ultimately home. And I told him, yes, I'll resign. At that time, Malala was still with him. Of course, he made a lot of noise, trying to say how I was not an official. Those kind of things happen. But up to now, I think Kenyans are getting to know who President William Ruto is. We didn't know when he was selling the hustler narrative to us. We were hoodwinked. We cheated Kenyans, and we apologize. I apologize profusely that I told Kenyans, hey, that pesa mfukoni sasa imetolewa yote, hakuna kitu kwa mfuko. The only last thing that I have to tell Kenyans, that Kenya is your country, and it's only you who decide where Kenya is going to go through the ballot. Let us put a system in place that respects the rights of the Kenyans. If you are a public servant or an employed person with a payslip, and you're still dreaming of voting for this government, then you have a problem.